During World War II, amidst the chaos, terror, and despair that consumed Europe, there lived a woman whose courage and determination would save thousands of innocent lives. Her name was Irena Sendler, a Polish social worker and nurse who quietly became one of the greatest heroes of the Holocaust. While most people know the names of generals, political leaders, or famous battles, very few have ever heard of Irena, the woman who risked everything to save 2,500 Jewish children from almost certain death. Her story is not only one of bravery, but also of deep compassion, ingenuity, and unwavering moral conviction. When Nazi Germany invaded Poland in 1939, the situation for the Jewish population deteriorated rapidly. In Warsaw, the Nazis forced hundreds of thousands of Jews into the Warsaw Ghetto, an area that was overcrowded, disease-ridden, and sealed off from the rest of the city. Life inside the ghetto was unbearable. Food was scarce. Disease spread rapidly, and the threat of deportation to death camps loomed constantly. Children were particularly vulnerable, and countless families watched helplessly as their little ones starved or succumbed to illness. Irena Sendler, who had been working as a social worker even before the war, could not ignore the suffering she saw. She had a deeply held belief that every life, no matter the religion or background, deserved to be protected. Using her position in the Warsaw Department of Social Welfare, Irena gained limited access to the ghetto under the guise of inspecting for infectious diseases. The Nazis, fearing epidemics, allowed certain medical workers to enter. Once inside, she witnessed unimaginable horrors: children, abandoned, malnourished, and terrified, often without any family left to care for them. For Irena, inaction was not an option. Saving these children, however, meant constantly placing herself in extreme danger, as helping Jews was punishable by death. Every day she entered the ghetto was a gamble, one misstep potentially ending in her execution. Irena began collaborating with a resistance organization known as Z, which focused on rescuing Jews. Together, they devised highly creative and risky ways to get children out of the ghetto. Some were smuggled in toolboxes, others in sacks, ambulances, or even coffins. Older children were sometimes led through underground tunnels or hidden inside carts under the pretense of being sick or dead. Each rescue required careful planning, immense courage, and a deep understanding of human psychology. Bribing guards, forging documents, and maintaining absolute secrecy were daily necessities. One wrong move could end in death, not only for Irena, but for the children and anyone assisting her. Getting the children out of the ghetto was only the first challenge. Irena had to ensure their survival afterward, which was often even more difficult. She arranged for them to be placed in the care of Polish families, orphanages, convents, and monasteries. They were given new identities and taught Catholic prayers so they could pass as local children, avoiding detection by Nazi authorities. Many of these children were so young they did not understand why they were being separated from their parents. Convincing the parents to let their children go was heartbreaking. It meant promising to reunite them after the war, knowing that many might never see their children again. Yet the choice was clear: without intervention, the children would almost certainly die. To honor the promise she made to the parents, Irena meticulously recorded the real names of each child, along with their new identities and where they were hidden. She placed these lists in small glass jars and buried them in secret locations, hoping that after the war, she could help reunite children with their surviving families. This act was both practical and deeply symbolic. Each name represented a life she was determined to protect, and each jar was a silent testament to her unwavering commitment to human dignity. In 1943, the Nazis discovered Irena's activities. She was arrested by the Gestapo, imprisoned, and subjected to brutal torture. Her legs were broken, she was beaten repeatedly, and she was threatened with death. Despite the immense suffering, she never revealed a single name, protecting the children, her colleagues in the resistance, and their families. Eventually, she was sentenced to execution, but thanks to members of the underground, a bribe allowed her to escape at the last moment. Officially, she was listed as executed, giving her the chance to continue her work in hiding for the remainder of the war. After the war ended, Irena recovered the buried jars and began the painstaking process of locating surviving children and their relatives. Tragically, many of the families had perished in extermination camps, leaving some children with no one left to return to. For these children, Irena helped them understand their true identities and provided guidance on rebuilding their lives. Her efforts ensured that the memories of those who had been lost were preserved, and that the children she saved could grow up with some knowledge of their past even if their parents were gone. For decades, Irana's story remained largely unknown. Outside Poland, she did not seek fame or recognition, often insisting that she was simply doing her duty as a human being. She felt a personal responsibility to the children she could not save and carried the weight of their loss with her for the rest of her life. Her humility was remarkable. Despite having performed actions that would make her a global hero, she lived quietly, allowing her deeds to speak for themselves. It was not until the late 1990s that Irana's story gained international attention. She was honored by Israel as righteous among the nations, an award given to non-Jews who risked their lives to save Jews during the Holocaust. Later, she was nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize, and her story began to be taught in schools and shared widely through books, documentaries, and films. Her legacy endures, not because of awards, but because of the lives she saved and the moral courage she displayed when faced with overwhelming evil. Irena Sendler's story illustrates that heroism does not always come from wielding power or authority. She had no weapons, no army, and no political influence. What she had was empathy, resourcefulness, and an unshakable belief in the value of human life. At a time when fear could easily have paralyzed most people, she chose action. At a time when silence could have guaranteed safety, she chose to risk everything to protect the innocent. Her life serves as a reminder that history is shaped not only by governments and armies, but by ordinary individuals who choose to act with courage and humanity in extraordinary circumstances. The thousands of lives she saved, the children who grew up because of her, and the generations that followed are living testaments to the profound impact one person can have. Irena Sendler's courage, intelligence, and compassion continue to inspire countless people around the world, proving that, even in the darkest times, a single individual can bring light. Her story is not merely a tale of survival, but a lesson in morality, empathy, and the extraordinary power of human kindness. Her name may have been forgotten for many years, but the lives she saved and the hope she restored will never be forgotten.